Charlie Kirk's story doesn't begin in the halls of political rallies or on the stages where he now commands thousands of listeners. It begins with two parents who quietly shaped the foundation of the man he would become. His father, Robert W. Kirk, and his mother, whose supportive influence ran deep in his upbringing. Robert Kirk worked as an architect, a man who built not just structures but a sense of discipline, precision, and a vision for the future that would rub off on his son. His mother, on the other hand, played the vital role of grounding Charlie in values of faith, humility, and family loyalty. Together, they created an environment that emphasized hard work, accountability, and the belief that America offered unlimited possibilities if you were willing to fight for them. What's surprising is that Charlie's parents weren't deeply entrenched in politics. They weren't career politicians or media personalities. Instead, they were ordinary Americans, hard-working, family-oriented people who believed in personal responsibility. They passed on to Charlie a deep respect for faith and a conviction that moral clarity mattered as much as academic achievement. His father's career as an architect meant countless hours spent designing blueprints, and in those quiet moments, Charlie observed the patience it took to see a project from idea to finished structure. His mother reminded him that even the strongest foundations crumble without integrity holding them together. These lessons became the scaffolding for Charlie's worldview. But the journey wasn't smooth. Growing up in the Chicago suburbs, Charlie faced the challenge of feeling like an outsider in the world of traditional academics. He wasn't the star student destined for Ivy League acceptance letters. In fact, when he applied to the United States Military Academy at West Point and was denied, it hit him hard. Yet it was in that setback that his parents' lessons shined the brightest. Robert Kirk told his son that failure wasn't the end of the road, it was simply a redirection. His mother reminded him that faith often opens doors where human effort alone cannot. That rejection, painful as it was, became the very moment Charlie Kirk began to carve his own unconventional path. Instead of fading into obscurity, Charlie took that sting of rejection and turned it into fuel. At just 18 years old, he founded Turning Point USA, an organization that would eventually redefine conservative activism on college campuses across America. And though his name would become synonymous with fiery debates, bold opinions, and controversial stances, behind that public persona remained the steady imprint of his parents' influence. The architectural precision of his father became mirrored in Charlie's strategic building of a national movement. His mother's emphasis on values became the moral compass guiding him through criticism, fame, and the immense pressures of public life. Few people realize that Charlie's father initially had doubts about his son's unorthodox career choice. Politics, after all, wasn't an easy road. But Robert Kirk ultimately admired his son's persistence, the same persistence he had needed as an architect dealing with difficult projects. Over time, both parents became his quiet anchors, offering counsel away from the spotlight. They may not stand next to him during speeches or appear in headlines, but their fingerprints are everywhere in the story of Charlie Kirk. Without their early belief in him, the resilience they instilled, and the moral foundation they emphasized, the story of a boy turned national figure might never have unfolded. And that is perhaps the most cinematic part of Charlie's journey. The reminder that behind every headline-making figure is often a pair of parents who poured unseen love, sacrifice, and guidance into them. His rise wasn't just about boldness or opportunity. It was about the architecture of values carefully laid out in his childhood home. If you find this video adding value to your life in any way, please take a moment and subscribe and like. And if you want to go further, write one word: value, because it helps with the algorithm so other people who need it can find it. It's free and a way to give back to me. Subscribe, like, and comment.